This is Dan Seifert with The Verge, and taking a look at the Samsung Galaxy S6, which is being announced here at MWC in Barcelona. It's a completely redesigned flagship phone for Samsung. It looks significantly different than the Galaxy S5 that preceded it. It's also being announced with the Galaxy S6 Edge, which has a curved display, but the S6 has a flat screen as a pretty typical standard screen for most smartphones. There's a Gorilla Glass 4 front as well as Gorilla Glass on the back, and it's a metal frame. As you can see, it goes all the way around and it goes through the phone for structural stability. It's a significantly upgraded in terms of looks and feel and design over the Galaxy S5, which used a lot of plastic components. The screen is a 5.1-inch Quad HD panel. It really looks great. It's Super AMOLED, as most Samsung displays are. It's very bright, very vibrant, as come to expect from Samsung screens. Below the screen is a new fingerprint sensor that works just by touching your fingerprint to it, as opposed to swiping like the older sensors. The front-facing camera is 5 megapixels and it uses a wider angle lens than the Galaxy S5 did. But around back there's a new 16 megapixel camera. You can see it kind of doesn't lay flush with the back here, but it's a brighter lens, it's a faster camera. Samsung says there's a lot of tricks in here to make it a better camera than ever before. They've adjusted the processing, adjusted the color to address many of the complaints that users have had with the cameras in the past. Next to it is a LED flash as well as an IR sensor and heart rate monitor. The new IR sensor actually is able to determine white balance, so it's more accurate white balance, and the camera itself has a new autofocus tracking mode. Globally, the Galaxy S6 is going to have Samsung's octa-core Exynos processor, but the company isn't saying exactly what's going to be inside of it for the US market. This one's paired with 3 gigabytes of RAM. It's going to be available in 32, 64, and 128 gigabyte versions, but there's no micro SD card slot as on Samsung's older models. Additionally, the battery on the Galaxy S6 is 2550 milliamp hours, and it's internal, so you can't remove it, you can't swap it, which is something that Samsung phones have long allowed you to do. Samsung is integrating built-in wireless charging that works with both Qi and PMA pads, so you can wirelessly charge it on almost anything that's out there. And it has Samsung's quick charging if you're using a cable, so you can get a really you can get 50% charge in about 30 minutes of charging time. Additionally, the speaker's been moved to the bottom. Samsung says it's 1.5 times louder than the S5 and sounds crisper and clearer and with better bass response. Overall, the Galaxy S6 is a pretty significant improvement in terms of design and aesthetics and feel over Samsung's older phones. It really feels nice in your hand, it feels nice when you're using it, and it looks pretty nice too. It'll be available in Q2 across the world and probably on every carrier that you can find. And we're taking a look at the new Samsung Galaxy S6 Edge. It's an all-new device that utilizes a lot of brand new things that Samsung has really never done before with its mobile devices. It's a complete redesign of Samsung's smartphones. It really looks significantly different than the prior Galaxy S5 or the Galaxy S4 or the Galaxy S3, which all kind of look the same. This one's got a really unique, distinctive design. Primarily that's because it's a front and rear glass panels. So it's a Gorilla Glass 4 on the front and the back, and then it's got this metal border around it, this metal frame. It's a continuation of the design elements that we've seen on the Note 4 and the Galaxy Alpha from last year, but it's taken to a new level. It really does look quite premium and much better than Samsung's earlier efforts. As you can see here, the Galaxy S6 Edge has a curvature to it. It's on both sides of the glass for the front here, which is different than the Note Edge, which only curved on one side. It doesn't really have a different display on the sides like the Note Edge. It's still using the same display, and it's mostly designed to make it easier to swipe in from the side as opposed to run specific apps like the Note Edge used. For the display itself, it's a 5.1-inch Quad HD Super AMOLED panel. It's really bright, really vibrant, and Samsung says it works really well outdoors as well. It's a really, really great looking screen. I've got the brightness turned significantly down here, and it's plenty bright enough, and it can go all the way up, and it will get very, very bright very quickly for outdoor use. Below the display is the home key, and Samsung still has a fingerprint scanner in there, but unlike the older models where you had to swipe the scanner, you only have to press down on it to unlock the phone, which is similar to Apple's Touch ID system. Inside, this particular one is using a Samsung Exynos processor, which will be used globally. Samsung has not confirmed which processor will be in the US models, but it's an octa-core processor with 64-bit processing. It's really fast and snappy. Samsung phones have always used top-of-the-line processors, and the S6 Edge is really no different. Around back is a new 16 megapixel camera. It kind of has a little jut out for the camera module there. It's not flush with the back. And then, of course, a heart rate sensor, LED flash, and IR sensor. The new camera is a lot faster than before. Samsung says it's done a lot of effort to bring up the speed and the image quality of the camera compared to its prior models, including the image processing and the ease of use. The S6 Edge will come in 32, 64, and 128 gigabyte versions. There's no micro SD card slot. It's got a 2600 milliamp hour internal battery, but the battery is not removable, which is a significant difference from earlier Samsung models. Samsung's incorporating quick charging features. It's built-in wireless charging into the back panel that's compatible with both PMA and Qi wireless pads, so you can pretty much charge on almost any wireless charging pad available. And they've also moved the speaker down to the bottom edge from the back. Samsung says that the speaker is 1.5 times louder than the speaker on the Galaxy S5. The Galaxy S6 Edge will be coming out, Samsung says, in Q2 of this year. It's going to be launched globally. You can expect it to see on pretty much every carrier around the world. But so far, first impressions, it's a pretty nice advancement from Samsung in terms of design, significantly better than their earlier efforts.